Please welcome Tidebinder.
Thank you.
A round of applause.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi, BTC Prague. How are you? Okay. I mean, last one, but I hope you still have some energy and listen to my pitch. So, I'm Daniel. I'm one of the 3 co-founders from Tidebinder, and our vision is to simplify Lightning Network integrations on scale by offering simple payment APIs without compromising on not your keys, not your coins. Okay. Am I doing something wrong here? Okay, now it works. Perfect. So accessing the Lightning Network with your own keys and maintaining sovereignty presents severe challenges. So let's face it, running a Lightning node is not that easy, specifically if you want to run it reliably and on scale. It requires extensive resources and specialized knowledge. Because as many of you know, running a Lightning node is a complex situation and requires a lot of maintenance. So liquidity management introduces an additional challenge for individuals and businesses who want to integrate with Lightning. So this leads to the situation of high operational cost, which is inflicting a high entry barrier for businesses who cannot, for businesses to access the Lightning Network who cannot afford these resources. But maintaining stability and scalability requires continuous investment in these specialized resources and ongoing accumulation of specialized protocol knowledge. So we believe in self-sovereignty for every business, for every company. This is super important for not us, but for everyone, making Lightning more accessible and affordable for the average business in a self-sovereign way. Because if we don't do this, then Lightning might become centralized by a handful of financial service providers who are able to afford these specialized resources. So, what is the solution? Imagine if Lightning would be using Lightning would be as easy as consuming a cloud-based service. But without compromising on not your keys, not your coins. Super important. Think of how Stripe revolutionized online payments by offering simple payment APIs, which you could integrate into any business process. So, with Tidebinder, engineers don't need to understand any protocol specifications and principles, and also they don't need to manage liquidity. And this drastically simplifies the integration of Lightning into any system. Additionally, we are offering, so our customers always hold their own keys. So we are offering different kind of solutions to enable that, from secure cloud enclave to on-premise HSM signing for customers who need to manage a lot of funds. So all of this is being built on an enterprise-grade infrastructure with top-tier scaling, performance, and security. So we basically help companies to focus on their core business without needing to spend resources in building a sovereign payment API for themselves. So why now? Because, well, with growing demand, the timing is right for the Lightning Network to mature and scale. And we already can reach more than 500 million users and businesses through all the different kind of Lightning Network services, mainly custodial services. Yeah, more and more companies, mainly exchanges and brokers are joining the Lightning Network recently, which leads to the situation that Lightning is connecting all the major regional banking networks with each other to enable global reach. Our goal is that this demand is being met this demand is being met with solutions to operate securely on Lightning. To ensure a healthy growth of Lightning in terms of usage, but also, and this is super important, also in terms of sovereign adopters. And with today's technology, we are now able to fulfill this vision and work towards this vision of a decentralized future. So, what is the target market for us? We are targeting the digital global payments market. And this market is already immense, and it's constantly expanding. The current estimation for the annual transaction volume in global digital payments annually is more than 200 trillion US dollars. And 99.5%, so the vast majority of these transactions are digital B2P payments, which makes it specifically compelling for us to execute a B2B go-to-market strategy. Our solution not only capitalizes on this opportunity, but we also have to improve global trade through a neutral and global instant payment settlement system, Okay, so what about our product? So we are following a factory-first approach. What does this mean, factory first? So actually, we need to build two core products, one payment API and one cloud management system. The payment API will handle the transactions, while the cloud management system will build, deploy, and maintain the payment API for every customer separately, managing thousands of instances in parallel. So building the factory first allowed us to produce a simple MVP and start to gather customer feedback to iterate. Leveraging existing solutions like LNbits and BTC Pay combined with Breeze enables us to have our first managed service offering out in the market right now. So after successfully onboarding our first customers, we are now productizing our cloud management system and launching our management interface in the next few weeks. In the next step, we will gather all the feedback we got from our customers to engineer Tidebinder Conductor, an open source payment API designed for scalability, redundancy, and security. Additionally, we will introduce external signing, as I mentioned in the beginning. Once liquidity provider specifications are mature enough or fully developed, depending on how you see it, we will introduce a specialized hosting service for LSP nodes to manage and host the LSP service. This service will capitalize on our experience of working with LSPs by providing them with high-throughput business nodes. And we have more product offering ideas for the future, and we are obviously very closely observing the developments of Nostr Wallet Connect, of stable channels, and of eCashments. But everything we do is always with the idea in mind of accessing Lightning in a sovereign way for everyone, but specifically for businesses. This way, basically, our idea is to liberate global digital payments from counterparties. Not your keys, not your coins. Always our core principle. And of course, we are an AI company, as everyone. Just wanted to mention that. So, business model. Let's talk about the business model. So we have a monthly subscription and annual contract business model, offering a range of different price needs from small to large volume with different kind of security requirements. Additionally, we plan to arrange revenue shares with LSPs we partner with, and in cooperation with LSPs, we will be able to offer a volume-based pricing in the future. So as I mentioned, we just launched our first managed service offering with LNbits deployments. So we have several customers on the platform right now using LNbits with Breeze SDK in the background. So our next step will be to deploy a BTC Pay server on scale for our customers, and we will start to engineer Tidebinder Conductor as well in the next quarter, which we plan to release to the market beginning of next year and target start to target enterprise customers. Once we acquired all the necessary certifications, we will focus our sales completely on enterprise customers, while the small tier pricing will be only served by an organic sales strategy. Okay, I mean, infrastructure is hard. You heard it probably a lot, specifically if you heard a lot of pitches. We are not the only ones who are capitalizing on this opportunity. So, but we thrive to be the leader in convenience and sovereignty. This is super important for us. In general, we can divide this market into two kinds of service offerings, business solutions and service offerings for companies. Lightning as a service. These are typically custodial APIs or a payment service which require an additional funding or receiving source in order to get the funds out of this payment solution. And Lightning as a sovereign service. So we see already several players in this market. And Lightning as a sovereign service is basically behaving like a cloud-managed, fully managed service in the cloud, but without compromising on not your keys, not your coins. So let's talk about the team. Who is embarking on this mission? So we are 3 co-founders. And together we can look back on more than 16 years of Lightning Network experience running personal nodes, but also business nodes on scale. So we know how hard it is to run a Lightning node, but we also know how to make it easier. So all of us have extensive entrepreneurial experience, and we have a very complementary set of skills which will support us on our journey. While I'm selling software for more than 15 years, and I'm very enthusiastic about product management, because I involved myself a lot in the product management in previous companies, Aliash has more than 16 years experience in cloud engineering and penetration testing, and Tim has more than 16 years experience in software development, and he is a huge Rust fan. So, if you want to embark with us on our mission, we're looking forward to hear from you. You can contact us anytime. And yeah, we are currently preparing a pre-seed round. Happy to provide you with all the necessary information. And now I'm looking forward to your questions. Thank you.
It's time for the last question from our amazing judges.
So, I guess in the competitive environment with you had Voltage and LifeSpark, like kind of compare and contrast your product or your expectations for the product over time, and how you think you're going to achieve that greater degree above and beyond that. That wasn't totally clear to me.
So also in comparison to Voltage and LightSpark, or what do you mean?
Right. Yeah. In the upper right quadrant.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Okay, let's look at Voltage first. So Voltage currently only offers node hosting, no payment APIs. I know they are working on something there. So probably in the next few months or quarters, we will see something here which goes into the direction of a payment API. I don't know how the product compares to our product there, but we can compare LightSpark to our product. So LightSpark is, first of all, LightSpark is built on LDK. We don't know if we were going to build on LDK or on C Lightning, but probably this is like the first difference. The second difference, and probably for me the most important part, is we are going open source while LightSpark is closed source. So you don't know what's happening in their background, what they are building, and they basically just build for their own. We want to build for a whole ecosystem. So everybody should be able to run their own payment API if they want. But they could also ideally, or we will make an offer which is cheaper to run it with us than run it themselves. So this is our idea. But yeah, so the main difference between LightSpark and Tidebinder is it's open source. Tidebinder is open source, LightSpark is not. And we offer probably a REST API, while LightSpark is doing a GraphQL API. And we are using different node infrastructure.
So how competitive do you think this open source differentiation is going to be in that sale? Like, describe the sales process from a business-to-business standpoint, what that looks like.
So I think, first of all, open source is an important, reason why businesses buy into solutions, because they don't have a lock-in effect, which is super important. So with Lightspark, you have kind of a lock-in effect, which you don't have with Tidebinder if you have the option to host your API completely in a different environment with different service providers. And so our goal is not to capture all the value we generate, but to capture a part of the value we generate. So the value capture should happen in a broader context, meaning that, for example, if in the future 30, 40, 50% of the transaction in the Lightning Network are going through an open source payment API, which would be Tidebinder Conductor, we would probably host like 30, 40% of it. So we can have a much larger reach with our product being open source than being closed source, because you can just install it yourself and run it yourself if you want.
Can you talk a little bit more about what state the product is currently in? Like, how much have you built so far, and what are the near-term kind of timelines?
Yeah, so we started in January, February this year to build our cloud management system and start to engineer our admin console for the management system. And we are basically currently in the final phases of productizing both of it, while we already started to onboard our first customers. So we have multiple LM-Bits instances currently deployed. And the use cases of our first customers are very thankful to the situation we are looking into, because, I mean, LM-Bits, Breeze SDK, Greenlight, it's not really stable at the moment. A lot of problems popping up. So the use cases we are currently serving are mainly sending out small amounts in huge frequencies. So typically rewards you earned on a platform, or you earned by doing something. So these are the ideal use case for our early adopters, and we started to onboard them on our platform. Yeah.